What's up everybody, badassgamez, welcome to my walkthrough for Metal Gear Solid. Now if you stand here for a hot second, you let the black bars fade away, you may notice that there's a ration down here in the water that you can go grab. So let's go get that, and I'm not going to be collecting all the rations, I'll try to show you where they're all at, but the thing is you're capped on how much stuff you can carry, so I'm just going to, let that be. Alright, so in order to get out of here, you just crouch using the X button, in this case, under default controls on the PlayStation. And in order to get through here. Now be careful of this puddle because you don't want to cause any attention. You will slap that and they will get notified that you're around. There's another ration down here if you'd like to grab that. Now if we look at our inventory, we see that we have 2 rations. 2 of 2, we can only carry 2, and so all the other rations we get, we won't pick them up. We also have a scope in case you want to zoom in and look at stuff, and you also have some cigarettes. So yeah, they may come in handy for certain stuff, which I'll explain later. Alright, now I better get busy trying not to get caught by this guy. Ooh.
What was that noise?
What was that noise? Alright, so, yeah, that's one way of getting out of it. Otherwise, you could just flip them or whatever. There's more puddle stuff. Here's another ration, by the way. Now, the whole premise of this early stuff is that you're waiting for the elevator to come down. You could approach the elevator and Campbell will give you directions and everything, but I would recommend just, kind of hiding is what she's going to tell you to do anyway. Actually, what I like to do is mess with these guys too. Make them think that there's ghosts or something out here. So, basically, one of the guys patrols in the upper left-hand corner and the other one patrols on the lower right-hand corner. So, if you're able to just stay down in the lower right-hand corner, you can totally control where they go. Or you could kill them, It doesn't really matter. Well, let's get this guy.
What was that noise?
I want to bring this guy down here so that way, when the elevator does come, he'll be out of the way. But I'm trying to control him to go in a certain direction so that way... Oh, I got the wrong guy. So I'm really just trying to, you know, keep these guys under control, otherwise they might spot me. One of the things you might think about doing is going up and hiding by that crane up there, and you can do that. One of the guards will look around that thing to try and find you. Alright, well here comes the elevator. Let's try to distract one of those guys so that way he doesn't come up here while we're trying to get on this thing. This guy's going to come out and turn directly to the opposite side from where you're at. This gives you plenty of opportunity to go up and get on the elevator. Alright, let's go up to the top. Okay guys, I'm going to be skipping a large majority of the cutscenes only because there's so much dialogue that I'd rather focus on the gameplay here. I'm more interested in the walkthrough than I am the storyline, but the cinematic videos will be uploaded to YouTube if you want to watch those, and in high quality as well. And there will be annotations so you guys can link directly to the thing during particular points in the walkthrough if you guys do want to watch the cinematics. Alright, I just showed you guys where one ration is. There's another ration over there. There's also a guard. Let's be careful because he's going to come over here and take a look. Let's try to avoid these searchlights. If we go on this helipad in the very center, there's a chaff grenade. Now what a chaff grenade is, actually over in this inventory slot, which I'm holding R2 to bring up, and I'm using arrows to select the item. I'll choose the chaff grenade, and what it does is it disrupts any electronic signals, including your minimap. But the important thing to know is that it also distracts these surveillance cameras. So we can go in here and grab a stun grenade. These will come in handy, I promise. Okay, so after a few seconds, the jam signal will go away and you get your map back. Let's go into this truck right here and get our weapon, the SOCOM. So yeah, all the weapons that we didn't come into this game with any weapons at all. So we gotta, well, basically, it's OSP is what Snake called it, on-site procurement. You need to get your own weapons, buddy. Alright, so let's light that guy up real quick. No, he dropped something. I'm trying to get on the other side of this camera. It's only a ration. That sucks. Sometimes they drop ammo, sometimes they drop rations. It's really random. It doesn't really depend on how much you have in your inventory. Okay, now I'm going to go up to the top here. There are 2 ways to get in this building. One of them is down below. They showed you it on the thing. The thing is, there's a guy blocking the path. And, yeah, this way actually leads to a couple more cutscenes. That's Campbell just telling you that you need to look for ventilation shaft, which is right here. Alright, if you want to listen to this conversation, there is an annotation for you guys to click. And now let's continue through this ventilation. We need to find our way out. We're looking for the DARPA chief, Donald Anderson, and Arms Tech President Kenneth Baker.
I moved the DARPA chief to the cell in the first floor basement.
What about the vent shaft cleaning?
They just opened the vent covers. They're about to start spraying for rats.
First floor basement ventilation shaft.
Shut those covers as soon as they're done spraying. Also, keep your eye on that woman in the cell. Don't get careless now.
Woman in the cell?
So the bad thing about skipping cinematics sometimes is you miss some information that you kind of need for puzzles, which is kind of unfortunate. But then again, you know, they put so much dialogue that it's just so convoluted that you barely even figure out what is actual information you need. So it's just, in my opinion, I think the storyline's great. They just put a little too much dialogue and information, and it's more of a movie than it is a game at sometimes. So alright, while we're going through the ventilation shaft, you'll notice that there's a ration there at the end. Check your inventory, because if you have full rations, you won't be able to pick it up anyway. Alright, let's go ahead and head down. That's just Campbell telling you to press action to come down out of the vent shaft. He's very informative like that. Alright, there are two entrances into this area, like I was telling you before. That's Campbell again telling us about some stuff about the elevator that we need to go down. There's another entrance. Let's go ahead and equip the scope and I'll show you. Alright, it's down there. You can see the vent shaft. You would come out there, and there's also another ration down there in case you need it, but it's very, very far away. You gotta pretty much go all the way around. Alright, so avoid the cameras or use a chaff grenade, whatever you desire. Let's go in here and let's actually use one of these chaff grenades because we need to get an item. Now you can avoid the camera if you want, but it's a lot quicker just to chaff it up and go grab these thermal goggles. Now if you didn't have the thermal goggles, if you didn't grab the SOCOM from the back of the truck in the previous area, then that would be the SOCOM and not the thermal goggles. The thermal goggles will come in handy here in a little bit too, as you'll see. Alright, there's a couple of doors in this area, but you don't have any access cards, okay? So that's pretty much what we gotta do. We gotta go find some access cards. Let's get the SOCOM out in case I get in some trouble. Over here in this corner, there's some bullets for it. Let's light that guy up. Might as well, right? He dropped some ammo. And there's no other doors you can go in except for this elevator. So let's go ahead and activate this thing. Hopefully we don't get caught. Very close. And go down to B1. If you go down to B2, you can get some extra SOCOM bullets, but there's nothing else down there. And so it's sort of a waste of time. Alright, now that we are in here, that's Mei Ling telling you that the DARPA chief is right there, that green dot right there. So what you want to do if you can't figure this out, it's pretty simple actually. There's a ladder right here. This is Campbell telling you that you just use the action button to climb up there. It's very informative at the very beginning. But before you do that, if you need a ration, there's one right there in the vent. So there you go. Alright, let's climb up this thing. Once again, in some ventilation ducts. Now the proper way to go is all the way down there at the other end. But if you need SOCOM ammo, which I don't, there's some down there too. And there's also, you know, some vents you can look through to get some more dialogue or whatever. Let's go ahead and go all the way down here and find the DARPA chief. We're also going to find another character that's going to follow us through a majority of the walkthrough too.
Is that a woman? Not me.
Alright, so in order to activate those cutscenes, what you do is you hold the triangle button or the first person view. This is basically Campbell telling you exactly what I'm about to tell you. And then you press the down button. Alright, so the DARPA chief died. That's pretty sad. There's also, if you need a ration, there's one underneath this bed right here. There's that. Now, we can't get out of the cell just yet. We can knock on the door if we want, but they're not going to let us out. Meryl's out there kicking the crap out of one of these guards. But she's going to let us out and then attempt to kill us. Alright, so for this fight, you just start unloading. Alright, well that didn't work out too well.
What are you waiting for? Shoot!
Don't talk to me like a rookie.
I'm telling you, shoot!
Now be careful, because there's somebody's going to throw grenades at some point. I come up in this corner and I just light these guys up from up here. And some of them will drop rations, some of them will drop bullets. If you have full rations, you don't have full life, and a ration's on the ground, always use the ration and then pick up the other thing. I'm basically tapping the R1 button to put my weapon away in order to refill it. Okay, I don't need the ration. There's the grenades, that's why I stand over here. Meryl doesn't care, though. Alright, and that's the last wave. Now, the DARPA chief ended up giving us a level 1 ID card, which we can use to get into level 1 doors. And in order to use it, all you do is you select it in this menu, and then doors such as this one right here will open as long as it's a level 1 door. We can go back in here if we want to. You get that ration if you need it, or you can come down into the office area down here, find some SOCOM bullets. Looks like I'm full. There's another one in this room if you need it, though. Alright, now that we have full SOCOM ammo, let's go back to the elevator. We want to go back up to the first floor we were on, because there's a couple of level 1 doors up there, and a couple of really awesome items that we want to grab. Let's head back up there real quick before we go down to the second basement. Alright, now that we're here, immediately head over here to the right. Try not to get caught by hugging the wall, or you can shoot the guy. Doesn't matter. Come in here, take your SOCOM out, and then light this guy up. Now, I just picked up a suppressor, which is kind of funny, because I didn't have a suppressor the whole time, and yet some of these guys didn't hear me shooting my gun, so the suppressors pretty much make sure that if you miss, then they won't hear you. So that's good for that, but other than that, that's pretty much the only item down here on this floor. What we want to do now is we want to go up a floor. I'm going to go ahead and throw a chaff grenade so I don't have to worry about any stupid... there's a guy anyway. I want to go around this tank. Alright, now that that's going off, we can easily come up here and avoid this camera. And here's another level 1 door. Go inside here and we get a cardboard box A, which we can use for quite a few different purposes. You can hide in it. It gives you access to shortcuts. It's a pretty cool little thing. But you got to remember to Heliport written on it. So it's kind of important where you're at when you have the box on. So make sure you know where you're at in conjunction with the writing on the box. Alright, so now that that's out of the way, let's equip my card so I can leave. I need to get around this camera before it sees me. That saw me. Oh well, it happens. Just ninja flip and go. And die. Alright guys, fortunately the checkpoint system is actually very lenient, so... So you do start this game with a little low life, and that's kind of annoying because it doesn't take very many hits to hit you, but you do kind of level up, sort of. I guess it's not necessarily leveling up, but you do increase in strength throughout the game, which is very useful. Okay, we got everything that we came up here for. There's no other items to grab. Let's go back down to the second floor basement. There's a few other doors that we can't open yet because we don't have the level cards that we need. So we go all the way down to the second basement. When we come in here, there won't be any guards. There will be guards if you came down here before you went and got the DARPA chief. But since we got the DARPA chief, it's completely empty down here. Now there's only a couple of doors that have level 1 access that you can open. That includes this one. It also has the writing of what's inside of it on the door. So if we go in here, we'll get some C4. We need to go in here and get the C4. It's important that you do that. Okay, I'll show you what you need to do with it. Some of the dialogue included some information on how to find your way through here, and it includes finding these discolorations in the wall. If you look at this wall, it's discolored. Well, what you need to do is you need to equip your C4 and put up against that. Now there's 3 places on here where you need to put C4. There's one over there, here's another one, and then there's also one down here. Now in order to place the C4 on the wall, all I'm doing is pressing toward the direction of the wall and then pressing the square button. And once they're all placed, you just tap the circle button 3 times to blow them all up. And they'll blow up in order, the order that you place them. Make sure you're not standing near any of them when you blow them up. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at the thermal goggles which we got earlier. They actually reveal traps. And there's also some more C4 which might need. Like you can see, these doors will open up. The thermal goggles are really used for finding traps like this, and also for finding other things which we'll see later. I blew this area open too. There's some stun grenades and some chaff grenades in here which I can't grab. So I'm full. By the way, don't feel like you need to save your grenades or whatever, okay? Because, except for your stun grenades, save those for this upcoming fight. And you'll see why later. Alright, and here are the SOCOM bullets that you could have grabbed a long time ago. And those are the only things that are in here, with the exception of this door right here I didn't go in. There are grenades, just normal everyday grenades in here. So we can blow people up later. I like it. Alright, I also blew up this hole right here down. That's going to lead me into this other part of the armory, the south part of the armory. Now I still have 3 C4 charges, okay? Make sure you have at least 2 when you come to this point, because if you don't, then you're going to be stuck. Pop the C4 on there, blow it up, and go through the hole. And then here's 2 more places where you can blow up. Okay, now we're out of C4. Make sure you're not standing near those things, blow them up. You might as well take a chaff grenade out, because there's some turrets in here that we don't want to deal with. And like literal turrets too, they'll shoot at you if they find you. Now they won't call guards, which is awesome. As you can see, there's a couple of doors out here that require higher level cards, which we don't have. Alright, now that we've done that, let's go in here. We gotta fight a boss.
Now I'll show you why they call me Revolver. Draw!
The whole goal here is to stun him, get close to him, so that way when you hit him, he's stunned, and he also turns and shoots at you. And then we do this, we revolve in a circle in order to dodge the incoming shot that he's going to deliver to us. And he's also going to turn and shoot you, and by the time he turns back around, that hit immunity has expired, and you can get another shot off. It's very important that you keep track of how many bullets he has, because when he runs out of bullets, he won't shoot you, he'll just run, and if you try to do the revolver tactic, then he'll get out of your range and you will not be able to easily take this guy down. Alright guys, that is it for the first part of my Metal Gear Solid walkthrough. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Take it easy.